the question for me, man, step back, people. It's your boy Mikey. Is getting deep in the trenches, and right now it is game time for most of the teams. I call them the bottom three, man. The bottom three, not the big three. The bottom three trying to feed their way into a potential playoff run. And the West Coast is where it's at right now. I'm going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors and their chances of making it into the playoffs. A solid team that really made some nice moves during the summertime. We're going to get into the roster, but first we look into the standings. Look how close it is between these three teams. Golden State, Memphis, San Antonio. Yes, sir. I'm going to throw New Orleans in. I'm going to give them a fighting chance. These are the four teams looking to make the 8th slot run prospects. All right? Memphis is a team that continuously, to me, overachieves. This is an example of perfect coaching from what I can see, and I really appreciate what we got from the Memphis Grizzlies and the coaching aspect there, because seriously, Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson, this young of a career, should not be in the position that they're in from a playoff perspective. Ja Morant has immediately come in, made waves. Jaren Jackson exceeded my expectations from Michigan State. It's really been, and I can't forget about Dylan Brooks and the rest of the roster, but it's been exciting. I'm going to digress because they're not the timing, but just excellent team management for what they have. I'm just surprised, man. Now we get into San Antonio. We know about the big boy. We're going to go into the next video about the guard-heavy San Antonio. They're always in the running. They say Pop needs to go. Look at Pop's roster right now. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Look at his roster. He's still in the playoff hunt. Pop needs to go. Man, shut up. Get out of here, man. Let's get to Golden State, because their roster, to me, is better than Memphis, San Antonio, New Orleans. I got to relook, all right? Let's get into it real quick. So, we know about the Cook man, the Steph man. The roster is surrounded around the superstar, Mr. Steph Curry. Steph Curry is doing his thing again this year at 33 years old. I believe averaging the most points for a 33-year-old in NBA histoire. He still looks young. By the way, this is what I keep talking about to the young kids who keep trying to dunk in rec leagues and dunk all over the place. I think it's the handle that brings you longevity. It's not the leaping ability, athleticism. Case in point, Chris Paul. Now, Steph Curry is extreme, and Rajon Rondo. So Steph Curry is doing a great thing right now for this team, getting them back into the Warriors field. Everyone thinks they're one-offs, but there's a couple other players when you look at this roster, you got to say, why aren't you stepping up? One that comes to mind right above Steph right there is Kent Bazemore. What are you doing? All right? Why aren't you coming to life at 31 years old, a vet who's just outside of his prime? Draymond Green is there. You know, Damian Lee's injured. They got Kevin Looney, who came over from the championship run, a good rebounder. Then they got a couple rookies in Nick Mannion. Kelly Oubre was a guy that they picked up and expected to do a lot more. Again, he got a little bit of a paycheck. Everyone's saying it's a big paycheck. However, I will argue with the salary cap, I don't know if that's necessarily true, okay? I don't know if it is big. It is big. But when that salary cap top off and they start letting the buckets, the money really fly, let it really rain, I think you're going to say Kelly Oubre was cheap. Now, Eric Pascal is not playing. All right? That's my problem. It looks like he's injured. They're not playing Eric Pascal. A tremendous rookie year. He was one of my sleepers on a step-back all-star team for that draft. I don't know what's going on. There's a relationship thing going there. They got Gary Payton Jr. come over from a defensive perspective. They got Jordan Poole, the perfect consummate warrior. Looks like in the ilk of a small man, a poor man Steph Curry in a way. Right? He's a shooter. That's what they get. Then you got my guy, I'm going to jump over, man, because Alex Smelegic, again, another good draft prospect who can stretch the floor, is just not playing. Okay, Klay Thompson's been injured all year. Can they get him back? Doubt it. That MACL, he's trying to recover. Toscano Anderson, another athletic player. They got a lot of these 6'6", 6'5", 6'7" guys that can just stretch the floor. But when you really think about it, it's on and Mr. Wiggins, man. Wiggins has had the opportunity for years and years and years to be something special. It's just never coming to fruition for him. He's never really come through and been the player that he was supposed to be. Is he bust? No, he's not bust. But for a number one pick, he's definitely not a number one pick prospect, right? He's a solid second option or third party contributor. He's not a guy that should be out here trying to make moves. James Weisman is the next guy that we think about from that perspective, and we try to look at him and what he's going to be due to all the injuries that he's had on the NBA rosters. Now, if we're talking about playoffs, if we're talking about where this team's going to be at, you got to ask yourself, how much more can they get out of this roster without picking out somebody dangerous to try to help them get into the playoffs? What more can they do? What more can they do to become a great prospective team in the NBA? I'm not sure Damian Jones seemed like a best option to me. Why wouldn't they get Damian Jones? I'm not sure. He's a guy that plays multiple positions, power forward, center. They need some defense. They need some size. I don't see the size on this team, and that's what's scaring me, especially with Weisman out. You got to ask yourself, why haven't they got more size on the Golden State Warriors? All right? Next up, all right? You added on Curry, but who is there to help Curry out from an offensive perspective? Who can help this boy do his thing? Not sure, but you got to see something. Jordan Poole has not come through the way he's supposed to, okay? He's not become a significant all-star player the way he's supposed to. So you got to ask yourself, how do they get better? How do they get better? What can they add? Kelly Oubre is not the scorer you thought he would be. He's a long player. He's a 3-and-D. He's a 3-and-D plus one. All right? That's what he is. That's what he is. But for now, I think they need another pickup. Gerald Green seems interesting to me because Bazemore hasn't played. Gerald Green is the guy who I want to look at for this team on this roster as somebody special that they could probably pick up and give them some more points because they lost Clay. They don't have a big three. It's all Steph. I'm sorry. I see the players. I see Poole. I just don't see what he's really bringing to the table on a consistent basis. He can give you 50. I can see that in the kid. But is it going to be consistent? I think you had in Green. You got those two prospects. I'm going to sign off here. Do they make the playoffs? Need another option. Need to get some size. They can go to the G League. They can figure this out. I think there's an opportunity for this team to get some players and make a run. And are they my pick to make it? I'm not going to say it yet. I'm not a Warriors fan, so I'm hating. But they should be the team to make it. And when the smoke clears, they should be the guys. They just need to add on some players. I'm going to sign off here. Warriors need some help. They can do it, but need some help. Mikey, step back. I'm gone.